What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 29th day of July, and here we are at about $119,000 right now. 11 hours, 16 minutes left in the day. Up less than 1% on the day, but, we're still up. This is not exactly how I was expecting today to go, and that's okay. It's very possible, especially with this look, that we have foregone the idea of going down to 116.5K, but I still think it's possible that we go down there. If we look at the 1 hour time frame, high to low here, Bitcoin's been very tricky. Over this past couple weeks, just consolidating in this range, it's been very tricky. Sometimes it's easier than other times. And sometimes we get the direction right, but we don't get the destination right? So that's just, it's been very tricky. Looking at this from a high to a low, coming down or coming all the way up to the 786 like this in kind of a non-stop trajectory normally does allow for a big pullback, which would take you to the 382 or the 236. Oftentimes it is the 236, but I've noticed throughout this range, we've actually done this exact thing so many times where we've gone up to the 786, maybe just above it, just below it, whatever way, and then we come back and we do find support or resistance at the 382. Let's see here if I can validate that or find an example of that. I mean, here, no, maybe here, high to low. Because it's been happening a lot. I mean, there you went up to your 786 area, but that's not necessarily the same thing that I'm talking about. Just trust when I tell you, I've seen it happen a good bit of the time here. Doesn't mean that it happens every single time, but let me just see if I can find one example. Maybe right here. Maybe. Nope, that's the golden ratio down to the 236, but kind of the same thing, kind of the same move, just not as high. Anyways, I've seen this happen a good bit of the time, and that very well could have been our low. We don't have to go lower. And looking at it, looking at the price right now, that is a nice move, a nice recovery from this kind of rejection area down here. But again, Bitcoin has been tricky. Even with nice recoveries, even after a harsh move down and some nice recoveries, you'll find resistance and still go lower. You know what I mean? So looking at this 1 hour time frame here, the 1 hour RSI, pretty neutral, not getting a whole lot off of it. It does look more bullishly positioned than bearishly positioned, but you are in an area at the 60 here where you do like to reject. You could go a little bit higher and still reject that area as well. From a price point, you are at an area of resistance that you've been finding resistance at and prior area of support here, so you could reject here. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame. That might help. 15-minute, I mean, you're also at an area that you like to reject in the RSI. We just started this 15-minute time frame, so let's see how it goes. As of now, you're making a move higher, you're getting volume coming in, but you haven't gone higher, so it is very possible that we could reject from here. Looking at it on the 15-minute time frame, you could be getting set up for some kind of M pattern where from a low here to a high there to a low here to a high there, you come down back to this area. Again, I'm not necessarily saying that we have to go to $116,500 anymore, but something lower I wouldn't be too shocked by, right? If we go back below 118K, okay, who cares? It's not a big deal. If we look at these liquidation levels over the past 30 days, again, the reason why we're thinking 116.5K, I mean, there's other reasons beyond just this, but coincidentally, it lines up with this this liquidation zone here, taking out that central point of liquidations, right? You've got a wall on this side, a wall on this side. That's like right there in the middle. I don't know. It might make sense to go there. If we look at the 1 day over the past 24 hours, we do have, I think, more longs than shorts piled up now. They're about the same, but we did clear out some shorts and pile on some longs. The longs yesterday were not even at, I think they're at like 1.5 billion. So we're at about 2.5 billion now. And this main point of focus, it ends at about 116.5K. So there's some congruence there. That doesn't mean that we have to go there. Again, that's not exactly what that means. But if we're looking at this back on a daily time frame here, down here at this daily low close, that's 117.2K. Down here at these wicking lows, that's at about 116.5K. Something around, I would think 117.6 to 115 point or 116.5, something in that area is still very much on the table. A lot of these days, they'll open up one direction and they'll close another direction. So the fact that we're up also, it's been very volatile. So we could very well come back down and close with a wick to the upside here. But any day now, regardless of how low we're gonna go, whether it happens or doesn't happen, any day now, guys, and it could be today, we will be breaking out to new all-time highs. It's going to happen, and whenever it happens, it's going to be fast. I would assume, it's the 29th now. I would assume that between now and the end of this month, we would be at new all-time highs, and I'm a bit surprised at how long we've been consolidating so far. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad phase of consolidation. In fact, things are getting tighter. I think from a closing perspective, we're getting tighter and tighter here. From a wicking perspective, we've loosened up a little bit, but from a closing perspective, we're getting tighter. So I think we are ready to pop. From a volume perspective, we're also decaying too. Typically in consolidation ranges, you move up whenever your volume starts to get to its lowest, right? Look at these levels. These are some of the lowest levels, and that was right before you broke out of this overall consolidation phase here. So not only that, we've got lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price, hidden bullish divergence. Hidden divergences aren't so powerful that they just like take you through the sky. This little move up that we've had today could be exactly what the hidden divergence is all about. But if I'm being fair with myself, I wouldn't want to see today close red, or if it closes red, I wouldn't want to see us close below 117.6K. So again, that throws us in a situation where if we do go to 116.5K, cool, but damn, because then we're showing bearish convergence instead of divergence. If we go down there and then we wake back up and close up by the end of the day, we get some volatility before the end of the day. That's preferred, but I'm starting to think we probably just don't go down there. That's probably what's the reality now. Could we go below 117.5? Sure we could. But let's look at this real quick. Low here to a high there. 382 above the 236. I mean, we could go to 117.2K. That could happen. And maybe 116.5 because the golden ratio is still down there. There's prior areas of support as well, but maybe that's reserved for tomorrow. That way we don't close there today. 4-hour RSI is very neutral. I'm not getting a whole lot off of this. It is more bullishly postured than anything, but we are at this area where we found resistance. If you just look right here, right, we have found a lot of resistance at this line or just a little bit higher. We touched that line right there. And then typically when we find resistance here, we go all the way down to about, I would say, yeah, at least this level, if not lower, which is 117.1K. And we got pretty close, but that was before we found resistance here. Or I mean, I guess we found resistance there. So do we have to go lower? No. I'm just saying this is what we've been doing. But we are getting to the point where this trend is going to break. So I would look for some different behavior. Maybe instead of going all the way down here or lower, maybe what we do is we find a higher low and we kind of dance in this area a little bit more, and then we break out. Something like that could happen. That's kind of what I'm expecting at this point in time. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Final thought, I think that we do go lower, but I don't think we go below 117.5K. I think targets below this area are off the table. Maybe we could go slightly below it, but something down a little bit from here. I would think that we do go a little bit below 118.1K, something like that, and then we'll probably recover and continue to move up. But I've got, and if not, then by the end of today we're breaking out, or going into tomorrow we're breaking out. But soon enough, guys, we should be breaking out of this range, seeing some glorious upside and moving up to about $130,000 to $150,000. That's the expectation. So I've got nothing else for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care. Bye bye.